Hi Virgo, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, then please know that this is a very new channel and it's something that I'm trying to do to reach as many of you as possible. So if you like this video, please don't forget to give me a like. Please share any comment you'd like to have in the box below. And also please don't forget to subscribe because this is the way I will actually manage to reach as many of you as possible. So if you've been here before, then you already know how this works. What I like to do for this monthly reading, which by the way I am timestamping as April in this case because this is when I'm recording it for, but please don't get too hooked up on the dates. I think that readings find the people that are meant to listen to them, to watch them at the time that they are. So if you find this another time, then please go ahead and keep watching because I'm sure that there's something in here for you. And also don't forget that this is a collective reading, so not everything will resonate. I'll try to give as many scenarios as possible while I'm reading anything I can think of, but the possibilities are endless and there's many of you watching this, so obviously will resonate with all of you differently, okay? So like I was saying, I like to usually start my monthly reading with a card that tells me the kind of energy that is surrounding you at this time. And interesting enough, I got this card, which many are a bit afraid of, but there's nothing to be afraid of. It's just another motion in time, and I think it should be accepted as it is. In fact, you can definitely work with this card, which is the void of moon, the void of course moon. Also, the message here says missing. Now, what does that mean? If you're not familiar with astrology or with the void of course moon term, then what it means is that right now things may not be going the way that you wish them to be. In fact, most likely all you need to do is really to just chill, rest, don't take any action. And the only reason why that is because it's a time that is not very fruitious. So for those of you who don't know what the void of course moon is all about, so basically what the moon does is that it really takes about 27 and a half days to go around the zodiac, and there's this moment the moon makes the last major aspect to another planet, and that is kind of like the culmination of its function in that specific sign. And after that, what the moon's going to do is to move into the next sign and then start a brand new energy with a brand new array of aspects that she's going to make to other planets. Okay, so what does that tell us practically? It tells us exactly what it is. This is the last spurt of energy that the moon is putting into something, but she's ready to let go. She's ready to move forward and to go into the next sign. So this is a moment where you shouldn't really be doing much, but just observe what the situation is all about and hopefully look at things from different perspectives so that you can actually move forward. As soon as the moon switches signs, then you can actually move forward. Does that mean that you have to wait until the moon switches signs? Not necessarily. It could be the case, but that's not always the case. What matters is that you understand that if you make some sort of action at this point, it's likely that the energy won't be very helpful to you at this time. So you just may want to think about what you're doing, sit on it, and then wait until the energy changes, and then you can actually act on whatever it is that you want to do. Now, to be a bit more practical, if you are thinking of changing jobs, perhaps it's not the right time. Let's say that you are looking for a new job, you may say yes to, and then something else comes along that it's better, so you have to say no to the one that you had already accepted. If it's a relationship, there may be a quality of not knowing exactly or not seeing the full picture, so you may be deceived. And the energy, the moment the energy shifts, then the tone of this relationship shifts as well. There could be all sorts of annoyances and all sorts of like uncomfortable feelings. It's nothing major, I would say. And that's why I don't fear any card, but also I don't understand, this fear about the void of course moon, because it's actually a moment of reflection. If you think about it, and if you're watching this video at this time for the month of April, this is the month where the majority of the month Mercury will actually be retrograde, which is also meaning that it's a time for reflection, it's a time for slowing down, it's a time for not signing contracts, getting married, buying a house. It's one of those times where we are invited to really chill out for a minute and to reflect on what it is that we have, see, consider all the perspectives, which you Virgo, you Virgo, oh my God, I've done a few readings today, but Virgos are really good at analyzing and seeing every point of view, a bit like Libra. And if I'm actually called to speak of Libra in that respect, because you have that in common with Libra. So if you have Libra in your chart, or if you're dealing with somebody that's more prominent in your energy at the moment who has Libra in their chart, please go have a look at that reading as well, because there may be something in there for you. But all I want to say is that there's nothing wrong with a good period of reflection on sitting on something that we need to reassess perhaps. So it's just slowing down can only be beneficial, I would say, most of the time. I mean, rushing into anything has never really produced really good results, unless you have to make a decision quick. But if you don't have strong foundations, then that's not going to work out. So that's all the void of course moon is about. So you just need a bit of discipline, which Virgos are really good at. So you shouldn't be a problem for you. Not act impulsively at this time, and just live your routine as it is. I mean, things that are not falling into place right now, they will not until this energy is here. That's all it is. So just you're invited to have a look at it. Maybe there's another way to look at this that you hadn't considered before, and that could only be beneficial. Okay, I'm just going to stop talking about this void of course moon. I just wanted to make a good introduction about it, because for those of you who know a bit more about astrology, that you may be like taking aback and say, oh my God, if this comes out in a reading, then it's not good. But not at all. I mean, it's just a moment of reflection. It's all it is. And how does that apply to your reading, to the cards that are here? So I would definitely say that perhaps there was something that you were hoping to turn around, or you do have a hope for something. And I was looking into it and trying to get a bit more clarification. It seems something that you were really intended to move towards, something that you have been contemplating for a while, and you may have missed out indeed on some of the specifics, or some of the other sides that you could look at the same situation, just because you're really going strong for it. You were just really kind of like, no, this is what I want, this is what I'm gonna get. And then you were just there, and you thought that this would bring you some sort of grounding and stability. So you really wanted it. Yeah, you wanted to kind of be in that place. You thought that whatever it was, because for some reason I'm called to talk, to speak like as it was in the recent past, but it could be something you're going through right now. But what I was saying is, you may have felt called to just go in that direction and dream about that thing, and just see it as your way, forward in a situation. And you were not really open to listen to reason and about it. But the encouragement here was indeed, and that's interesting that the Hangman came out, because it's exactly what this card is all about. Is, hey, stop for a second. This is not the time to act. This is the time to look at the different perspectives. So this is really something that you should consider. There's a double confirmation. We usually say in astrology that whenever you have 3 or more significators, which means 3 or more themes, let's say, or 3 or more similar things repeating, then you have a theme in a chart, right? And now we already have the void of course moon and the Hangman, and then there's a bit more cards in here that tell me to just stop and think. So I would say that this is definitely a theme for some of you. Now, it will apply to areas of your life that are different for each of you. It could be a sentimental situation. It could be work. It could be just a personal project that you had and you believed in so badly that you wanted to go that way. But whatever that was, it may have caused hurt, or it will cause hurt unless you just stop and think. This is the this is the it keeps going back to, circling back to stop and think, because this hurt will cause like nagging thoughts. It will cause you to just close off even more. It will cause you to, at some point just not even sleep well at night, because you're just going to keep thinking and thinking and thinking about the same thing and the way you want to do it, but you just don't see what's behind you. You don't see what else is there. You will need to, kind of transition a little bit from this way of thinking into a way that clears your mind and can actually allow for new energy to come in, energy that will spark up new ideas, something that will actually help you to get more into what it is meant for you, that is more suitable even for you, if you see what I mean. So again, caution, because the word that was coming across, there were a few, but one was change of perspective. The other one was stop and think, stop and sit in it, and the other one was let go, like surrender to whatever it is, because this is how you're supposed to go about this specific time. It doesn't take long. I mean, the moon moves very quickly. Like I said, it only takes her 27 and a half days to go around all the signs. So, it can last very, a couple of days at most, and then you're done. So yeah, it's just a matter of patience and an extra invitation on, to sit in it. Because right now, say that you are in a situation that it's a job that is not satisfying you, and you see the opportunity to move right now into another direction, or it's a relationship that may not be going too well, and you've been on it for a long time, and then you're like, I just want to get rid of it. I'm tired. I just can't handle it anymore. The encouragement here would be, don't walk away just yet. Just take your time, sit on it, look at all the possibilities. There are things that you don't even dare imagine. You don't even you don't even dare dreaming about, because you don't think that those are possible for you. But I would beg to differ. I think it's really out there for you. There is a slight indication, or inclination, I would say, in this reading towards the emotional part of you. So maybe you're involved with somebody and there was hurt, and that hurt may have gone on for a long time, and you understand that you need to transition into a better place, and this is all you're looking forward to. But nonetheless, I would say there is still something in there that should keep you or refrain you from making a hasty decision, because this is really not the time to do it. I would say there is some sort of soulmate energy in this reading, and by soulmate we know, I don't know if you know, but there's we have plenty in this, in each lifetime, if you believe in several lives. And if you don't, then in this one life, just know that you have many soulmates that can take the shape of intimate partners for sure, but also friends, family. We can be soulmates with several people in our lives, and so that energy is present. So let's say that walking away from it would be possibly something that you will end up regretting at this time. Also, just to go back for a second to the time I am recording this, because I'm called to speak about it again, we're in a Mercury retrograde period, which means that, like I said, you also are invited to stop and think and reflect on whatever you are involved with. Because making a decision of breaking up, or selling a property, or changing jobs, whatever that is, it's just not a good time, because things usually resume the speed after the retrograde motion, which is apparent, but this is how we perceive it from the geocentric point of view. So from the Earth point of view, we think that the planet is going backwards. It's just an optical illusion, but indeed that's what it is. It's the core of it. It's an illusion. So even if right now you may feel frustrated because things are slowing down, or things are not going the way they're supposed to go, that's purposeful. That's exactly where you're supposed to be, and this is exactly how things are supposed to go. Okay, and usually Mercury retrograde is a time where exes pop up like candies, and you just don't even know where they come up from. Or if you do make a major decision at this time, usually once the motion is resumed direct of the planet, of Mercury, then what happens is that things kind of resume also their usual regular, let's say, course. And then you just look at yourself in a mirror and you're like, what the heck have I just done? Because that was not the time to act. That was the time to sit on the issue, whatever that was. If there is an issue, it could also just be something that is in your mind and you're just restless to just make it happen. Just wait a little longer. It won't last long. I mean, if it's Mercury retrograde, the time that you listen to it, then it's going to be between the 1st and the 24th of April. So right after that, you are actually, free to act and actually see your actions become fruitful. I mean, nobody forbids you from doing whatever it is that you want to do. It's just that the time is just not going to be in your favor, and there will be obstacles and there will be stuff that keeps bouncing back at you. But I just wanted to kind of end this reading by letting you know that if you don't just get rid of whatever it is right now that you are impatient about because you think that it's just not going to work out and you just have to get it better and whatever, if you have that patience, you will actually get ideas. You will allow the flow of your thoughts to be a bit more fluid, to be there as a flow, as opposed to something that you are concretely thinking with your mind at a moment where it's just not going to happen. And then you will get the fulfillment that you're looking for. You will be able to start whichever dream you have about in still in a dreamy kind of way, but in a way that has is supported by the energy that is around you, as opposed to being to have the energy opposing you at this time. And then yes, you will get potential fulfillment big time. Like if you are really into a relationship right now, and not that I feel called to talk about it because there are a few indicators here. There's a 2 of Cups, there's a Queen of Cups, there's a King of Cups. I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff. And there's also the 10 of Pentacles that is fulfillment is in the big picture, so that encompasses as well the emotional part, although it can also be more financial or stability or whatever that means to you, because it's different for all of us. But there is a big potential to turn things around in a way that is actually more convenient, and perhaps you just don't have to let go of something that is maybe important to you, something that you may have cultivated for a long time, and right now it's just that you're tired and you may not know how to go about it. But that doesn't mean that it's necessarily the end of it. I don't know why I'm getting very specific here, and that may not resonate with all of you. I would assume that's not the case, but I feel called to speak about this and repeating it over and over again, because there is great potential in things that you don't see yet, and things that you don't have a full perspective on just yet. You just need to let this moment pass, and that would not take long. So just don't get too hooked up or frustrated on it. Appreciate the quality of the Mercury retrograde, for example. Like it has such a bad rap, but it's such a good moment to really just re-elaborate things. And there's always, if we're thinking of a relationship, if you stick to a person for a long time, yes, it could be out of laziness. Yes, it could be because you're fearful of letting go and having to start all over again. But mostly, or most of the time, I would say we stick to people because we care, because we build something, because there's something in there that draws us to one instead of another. And so throwing away the baby with the bathwater is not necessarily the right action. So that's what it's all about at this time. So I hope this resonates, and I'm just going to stop blabbering because I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over again, and slightly focus more on the emotional part of it. But yeah, that's what I'm called to be doing, so that's what I'm doing. But it can apply to financial situation, projects, anything. So just take what resonates and leave what doesn't, okay? One last thing, I'd like to end this reading with something that is a sort of a guidance. So I like to pull a card that usually from this deck, which usually confirms the energy that's in your reading, and so we'll see if this is the case here too. It's a deck that I really love because it has messages that are short to the point, but I find them very deep. And for some reason, just like the magic of tarot, but magically it kind of usually really has some sort of attenance to whatever it is that I talk about during a reading. So I like to end with this because it can give some final confirmation slide. It's like guidance, really. That's what it's all about. So let's see if a card pops out. If it doesn't, then it's not meant to be, and that's okay too. It happens sometimes. But let me see. I feel called to just keep doing this, and so let's see. Okay, I actually want to keep this card. Receive. It says, let me show you. It says, you are a kind and loving soul who constantly reaches out and gives to others. But now it's time for you to learn how to graciously receive. Just as with the ebb and flow of the tides, the art of giving and receiving is in the natural law and order of the universe. Well, I find this beautiful because indeed, there was this card here specifically, the Four of Cups, that made me feel like you are always just constantly waiting for something that, to be given to you, or something that should come from elsewhere, but somehow it doesn't happen. So you kind of have this maybe hasty movement towards whatever it is that pops into your mind, and you just want to apply it immediately. But like here is the time for you to receive, it says. And so this is the time for you to receive the information, to download wherever spirit is actually trying to communicate to you. Don't forget that this time here, the void of course moon, actually is not a time to act, but it's a time to actually be an extremely well connected place with your intuition, with your higher self. So if you're into meditation, and if you're not, I would advise you to do it. But it's a time where you can actually really receive even more information about the tools that you have at hand, and what you can do with them. So this is actually a very good card to get, and to confirm that you don't always have to go for whatever it is that you need. And if your tendency is to give to others, this time just trust that if you act at the right time, you will be given. So this is a beautiful reassurance, in my opinion. So I'll put it right here. All right, Virgo, I hope this resonated in some shape or form. And if it did, please don't forget, like I said, to drop me a message, to put a like, and certainly to subscribe, okay? Thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon again. Bye.